Alright YouTube, I'm doing another comparison, review, trial. This is going to be the Foreo Luna Mini 2 up against the Clarisonic Mia 2. Now, there are a lot of videos on this topic. I've seen a few videos that, to be honest with you guys, I haven't really been entirely trustful of. I feel that if you're going to do a sponsored video, it's a lot harder for me to take it seriously if you're putting down another product, even if it is a, comparative type of video. I don't really like to see, like, well, this product was terrible, but I'm going to review it. Now, this one is great, and I'm being paid to say that. It makes me question it. So, just so you guys know, I bought both of these with my own money. I didn't pay full price for either one of them, and I even have a comment on that. The Clarisonic Mia 2 retails for $169 for just the unit and one brush head. I think that's really high. I'm not sure if anybody actually pays that. On the Sephora site right now, you can get the device, 2 brush heads, and 4 extra bonus products, I think sample sizes, for $118. I just kind of feel that people that buy this probably looked for a deal like that. I know I did. This one was at a deal. And I do on this one have the Radiance brush head currently. I've used this for a while. However, I want to compare it up against this, and I have not used this because I still have a Foreo Play going. It's at least 200 uses so far, but I bought this because I did like the Play. I did like it. I want to give this a go up against the Clarisonic, and the Luna Mini 2 retails for $139. This is often at 20% off. It's currently Labor Day weekend. I think they have a 20% off special right now. So I think you can get this for 20% off pretty easily. Now, the pros and cons to these guys. With the Clarisonic, you're going to have to constantly replace brush heads. And I don't mean constantly. It depends on use. I would say between 1 and 3 months is what I've heard recommended for this. I would kind of just keep an eye on it, and if it's starting to look dingy, you need to replace it because this brush head can definitely hold on to a lot of bacteria. The appeal with the Foreo devices, all of them, is that they're made of silicone, so in theory, they won't hold on to bacteria in the same way, but I do have a little bit of a concern with that. I kind of think, it even tells you in the instructions that you should buy their silicone cleanser. I think that you do need to be a little careful with cleansing this extremely well. I did have a bad acne breakout recently, and I don't think my Play helped because I was just simply using face wash to cleanse it before use, and I think that it needed a deeper clean. I think that's something to watch out for, and I really haven't heard too many people mention that. Now, the one that I have, I believe this is just the basic one. I know this comes in all kinds of different ideas, like for dry skin, combination skin, oily skin. I think this is combination skin. I'll update you guys when I come back on which one it is. All I know is it's the Turtles one. I'm not really sure that really means anything. I'm just not. Based off of my judgment of what I know going into this, it kind of seems like you get a pretty similar deal from all of them. I'm not sure about all of the anti-aging that goes on with the level up from this one. There's a lot of claims in the skincare world that sometimes I read and I wonder who believes it. But anyway, what I'm going to do these next 2 weeks is I'm going to try out one of these devices for 1 week, try out the other for the second week. I'm going to use a variety of cleansers. I'm doing this in a supplementary approach, and I currently don't have any cleansers to test. So I'm just going to test a whole bunch of cleansers, see which ones work the best with each one of these. Let me also add, I just opened this for the first time ever. If you guys remember, I actually hauled this a while ago, but I'm not even kidding you. That Play is still going. This did not come with a charge for me. The Clarisonic did. I don't quite know how long the charge will last on each one of these, but when I come back with my more in-depth review, I will make sure to comment on that aspect. Because I do think it's important to know how long your device is going to last, both in charge and in lifespan, so I'll get to all that. This has been a long enough intro. I'll see you guys after I've used these devices. So at this point, almost predictably, I took an extra week trying to make a decision on which one of these I wanted to recommend to you guys, because that's the thing, I really wanted to come on the camera and be able to tell you this one is better than this one, or vice versa. And instead what happened at the 2-week mark is I really felt like I was going to come on YouTube and echo what everybody else who has had an unsponsored comparison video of these two has said, which is that the Clarisonic seems like it cleans a little bit deeper, but it will cost you more money because you need to replace the brushes. And the Foreo will definitely be a cheaper overall investment since it's a one-time purchase. However, it doesn't quite feel like it cleans as deeply. And the problem that I find with doing there's pros and cons to both, is that you can take that to either mean that yes, one of these is the better option for you, or you can interpret it the way that I did, which is, well, clearly I need both. So I took an extra week and kind of used 1/2 on each side of my face, switching it up, trying to really process how I truly felt about these guys and what I would say to you, because the thing about filming on YouTube is that you are not making a one-on-one video for as much as it sometimes feels like it. You are talking to people who make $100 an hour or more, as well as people who make $7 an hour part-time. And ultimately, I feel like your income really does play a role in which one of these you should buy. Now, I don't want this to come off as me saying you don't need either one of these, even though I will kind of make that argument at one point in this video. If you have both of these and you love them, that's great. I don't feel like it's money wasted if you're really getting use from the products, and I'll definitely go over that more in depth. But yes, I am going to say that ultimately I also feel you may not need either one of these. So I kind of want to go over why I purchased both of these. Yes, the Clarisonic really is what feels like a very deep cleansing brush, and that is what people tend to love about it. Each one of the little bristles can get right into your pores, really make them feel extra clean. Some drawbacks to this: apparently if you do have sensitive skin, it might be too much. It might be too much on your skin. You might not love it for that reason. I've heard of broken capillaries, that kind of thing going on with the Clarisonic, whereas the Foreo in general feels gentler. I believe in the beginning of this I expressed concern over this being too big. I actually really like the shape of it. I like that it has an area where you can hold it. I thought that it was actually quite nice. However, I have a criticism with this that I haven't heard anybody bring up, and that is that it kind of feels a little bit odd to have the vibrating motor right up on your skin. It almost feels like when you take it off your face continues to have residual vibration going on, whereas with this, the motor is located a little bit farther back, and I don't feel like you get quite that experience. It's not enough for me to discontinue use of this, and I do actually think I prefer the Foreo when I'm having an active breakout. Now, a couple of things I said I was going to comment on after I finished this trial period includes what cleansers I preferred to use with these devices. I definitely liked a middle ground cleanser. I felt like any type of cleanser that is a gel that doesn't have very much lather was a little difficult to work with the devices. What would happen is it would kind of be pushed off the surface of my skin by the brush, which, to be honest with you, is not a very comfortable feeling because you do want to have soap between you and the cleansing device. So I did not prefer those. Neither did I prefer the other end of the spectrum, which is the type of cleansers that have a lot of foaming effect to them. If it's too much foam, the cleansing device can actually push that too far, which can end up having it go in your eyes, which is certainly not a comfortable feeling either. So I definitely preferred the type of cleansers that give you a little bit of lather, nothing too extreme, not enough foaming, and so that would be the Origins Checks and Balances was my favorite to use with it. I also liked the Dermalogica Special Cleansing Gel. You just need some amount of lather, in my opinion. Now, the reason all of this got really tricky for me is because I do like exfoliating cleansers, and you don't want to use those with these type of devices. So this is just an example, not my personal favorite exfoliating cleanser. It's kind of a middle ground, lighter exfoliation. But just as an example, this is a cleanser that contains the sensation of exfoliating going on. So you wouldn't want to combine this with that. Now, in the 3rd week, I decided to revisit this type of product and see how I felt it compares to using these devices. And this is why it's so tricky for me. I actually felt like I got basically the same amount of extra cleansing from using these types of products as I was getting from the devices. So this got me investigating this question more in depth of why people would choose a facial cleansing device over a cleanser when, to me, the results felt very similar. And one thing I noticed is a lot of people are, especially in the skincare communities, have been told that physical exfoliants are bad for your skin, and I don't disagree with that. You should never use a physical exfoliant every single day. However, I'm not anti-exfoliating. I think that if you do it gently being a major key word, I think that you can benefit from it. I don't think you need to do it every day. I don't think you need a super deep clean every single day of your life. However, that has been a bit of a tense issue in the skincare community for a while. I feel like a lot of people went out and bought these devices as kind of a way around using exfoliants, and to me, both of them are physical exfoliators. That's the purpose of this. So what I'm trying to get at with talking about these is that I think both of these are very useful tools for helping you to get a deeper clean. I think that this process can be done with alternate options just as well, but I think there's an extra motivating factor in using one of these kind of devices, and this is kind of a either psychology or almost ritualistic type of situation. For example, if you spend $150 on an item, you are going to want to get your money's worth. That's a big investment. You're not going to want to feel like you threw your money in the trash, and for that reason, here's what I think goes on. I think that for a lot of us, maybe I'll just speak for myself, when I wasn't that much into skincare, honestly, the way that I washed my face was not very aggressively. It was a bit more of a when I remembered kind of thing. I often wouldn't use a washcloth. I just put a cleanser on, rub it around for 10 seconds, and wash it off. And lo and behold, I often had a lot of breakouts result from that. So, enter these types of products, and what I've been doing with these is since I bought them, I've been putting a lot more ritual into my cleansing. So, you use these for about 3 minutes on your face, moving around into different areas. You do this because you really both enjoy it, we like feeling clean, and because you're going to get your money's worth. And so for that reason, what I think these are is kind of almost motivational speakers, cleansing personal trainers. I think that either one of these or both of them can be very useful, assuming that you can afford them. So the big question here is, what if you can't afford them? And to that, I would say it's okay. You don't actually need to buy them. So this is a $10 brush. I tried this out this past week and I felt like I got pretty much the exact same amount of cleansing. I will say I had to push myself to keep using it for 3 minutes. I wanted to be done after about 1 minute. However, if you can push yourself, if you can be your own personal trainer, then you can use a device like this. Same type of cleansing gel. I would recommend one with a little bit of lather. It'll get the job done, and you'll feel just as clean as you do using these devices. And on the other hand, you can also use an exfoliant. This one, the reason I pulled this one out is because this one is the type of exfoliant that you can use every day. It's not overly harsh, but it definitely does help you feel extra clean. And of course, then there's the simple act of using a washcloth along with any type of cleanser. I would like to challenge you to ask yourself how much time you use a washcloth for, if that's the preferred method of cleansing that you use, because I really do have this suspicion that for those people who are not using a Clarisonic or a Foreo, or even if you have them and don't use them with every single time you clean, which you shouldn't, I'd be interested in knowing how much time you think you spend washing your face with a device versus not with a device. So I guess my TLDW is that both of these are really great at motivating you to help cleanse deeper, to help you cleanse better. However, ultimately, if you're worried about spending the money on these, if you don't think you have it, I ultimately don't think it's a necessity. And I think that's kind of a bottom line of a lot of products on the market. There are a lot of great products that it's really easy to come on camera and rave about, but if you step outside of yourself and think about the fact that maybe other people can't afford what you're talking about, then realistically speaking, you kind of should have a different opinion on them. Okay, so that's my thoughts on these two devices. I hope it's not too non-committal because I really am saying YMMV in this video. However, that's exactly how I feel after really digesting my feelings. That's how I feel. I will continue to use both of mine. I do honestly appreciate that I bought both of them. Maybe I'm telling myself I appreciate that I bought both of them. But I will use and continue to use both of them, so it was not a bad purchase for me, even though I can completely understand not buying either. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you found it helpful, please do give it a like, hit subscribe, and thanks so much for watching. Peace out, YouTube.